So how did you hear about the podcast? And
Man,
what prompted you to want to like?
So,
Come on.
all right. So basically, me, first of all, me as like an artist, right? As a Christian artist, I don't work with a lot of people, like you just can't,
Exactly.
and not only just from being like the business side of things, but just who God wants you to work with. I'm
Exactly.
big on that. So basically what I did was I go online and I look at different podcasts and stuff like that. And I knew like for myself, I'm like, man, myself as an artist, I know that I want to sort of tell my story and sort of like tell who I am, get people to learn who I am, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started looking for a podcast, I typed in Christian podcast on Instagram. I think it was either hashtag or I just typed it straight in.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking through a lot of them. And I was like, I'm just looking. And then I ran across yours. So first of all, big ups to you and like big respect to you, because one main thing for me is quality. Number one. I don't like to associate myself with anything less than, and it's not about being bigger than anybody, nothing like that. It's a simple fact that if I'm going to do this, it's going to be an excellence kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that caught me right off the rip with the quality. Then after that, listening to it and listening to what you were talking about, the way, I can read through a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I can read if people just talking about God or they're actually about God for real.
Yeah.
And when I listened to it, I was like, man, he actually, like, he's, and not everything you talked about is about God on the podcast. Like, I think he was talking to your dad or somebody.
Yeah.
And like, I could just tell the genuineness in it, and I was just like, man, I really like what this guy's about. Now, whole joke is it wasn't even on the podcast page.
Yeah,
this was on your personal page. So I was rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I like what he's doing. And then it led me to the podcast. I said, oh, he's actually doing this. Like, he's serious. So I was like, man, I gotta hit him up. I gotta see. I didn't even know that you were like in Clayton. I didn't know none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just like, I'm gonna hit him up. I was ready to come to you wherever you was at. And then when you said I said, oh, that's home. I said, oh yeah, we definitely gotta. But yeah, man, like when I don't really know how to explain it, but when I feel it and when I know that it's genuine and it's really about God, I'm with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, it's just like, yeah, he's serious. I know that he has the heart for this. And, I'm like, this is somebody I feel like I can grow with.
Yeah.
So
man,
that's
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, to God be the glory, because
seriously,
like we've been doing this for about since 2020,
mm-hmm.
COVID started. And it was one of the things that God put on my heart, coming out of a bad season and leaving our last church and everything. And then, when God put this on me, like OneFaith and everything, it's like, all right, Lord, I don't know what this is, but I'll do it.
Right.
And it started as a platform. It was just like, I would just talk about a lot of different random things. So all of I don't go look at our older stuff because it's
hey, it's the growth, bro. It's the growth. I get it.
You talk about quality now. That title.
It's cool. It's cool.
I did what I had.
It's the growth, bro. It's the growth.
I was doing what I had to do. But I know you probably say the same thing about like your earlier stuff.
I'm telling you, I listened to some of that. I'm like, I thought that was hard. Like, and
right?
You swear it was hard. Like when you did it, it was like, yo, this is it. I'm gone.
I'm going up.
Man, a couple years later, you hit play. You like, yo, the quality was trash. Straight trash.
It's horrible.
It's straight trash.
And so like all of our old stuff that I was doing, it was like, all right, I got to take it to another level.
Yeah.
And every time every time we do this podcast, like I try to, up it a little bit, because I watch Kev on Stage a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually had Tim Shropshire on the podcast. You said what?
Yeah. Yeah. Next level.
I just love the stuff that he does. I had Tim Shropshire on the podcast.
Wow.
In the earlier years.
Yeah.
And he's actually one person that that inspired me to keep going with the podcast, because when we interviewed him, it was actually pretty dope. And like he constantly checks in and sees, and I thought that he would forget about me, but I had saw him recently at his comedy show. He was like, "Yo, what up, bro?" And I'm like,
That's what's up.
So you paying attention?
Yeah. That's crazy.
But at the same time, it's like because I just he just one of those, like I watch them all the time. and I see the quality that they put into, even like with Country Wayne, different ones that put in the effort. I know these are like non-Christian.
I like Country Wayne,
except for Kevin on Stage and Tim.
Yeah.
Country Wayne, different ones that I watch on social media, and I see like the quality and the effort that they put into the stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, what would it take for me to like do the same thing?
Yeah.
And so the Lord blessed me to be able to work and have a really good job, make some good money. And so I was like, well, let me start investing into this thing. If I'm gonna take this thing serious, like you said, like I want to do it in the spirit of excellence.
Right.
I want to do it right. I don't want to just
halfway do it.
Halfway do it. We're gonna go all the way in with it. And so that's why one of major purchases was that Rodecaster, the switcher, and then the cameras that you see, and then the lights and everything. I mean, it's just something that I feel like, it's a platform, of course, for God to get the glory. It's a tool for Him to get the glory out of. But it's not a platform as far as like for me to be up preaching and all this other stuff, because that is for that.
Right. No, for real.
The podcast is for the podcast. We talk about a lot of stuff that would piss off a lot of people.
Yeah. I get it.
But at the same time, it's like, we understand the two variables as an associate pastor,
right?
As a man in ministry, someone who loves God deeply, wholeheartedly, and I, go after Him and everything that I do, try to do it in the spirit of excellence, because you never know who's watching, you never know who's paying attention, and just like you said, like you notice those two things, and it's funny because the other guy that I've been doing the podcast with recently, Khalil, shout out to Khalil. That was one of the things that he said too. He was like, I don't it's funny because you sound just like him when you said that. I don't associate myself with too many people.
You can't, bro.
I don't do this, that, and the third. But he was like, but I just saw the quality in the work that you do. Like I just saw the quality, and we met. So funny story how we met. We had just moved into this house like 2.5 going on 3 years ago. And so I called him. Well, I didn't recall him. I called the company that he works for, ADT, to come and do our security system. And so they came in, set everything up, and then he came. Well, he came to set everything up, and it was funny because I was wearing like a Christian hoodie, and I was just chilling and whatnot, and I was doing work in the living room, and I had my laptop, and I was just doing stuff, and we were just, me and my wife, we were just talking and whatnot, and so he saw my hoodie, and he just asked me a question about it. It was like, so what's up with that? And then it just led into a conversation about God. We should start talking about God. The next thing you know, like what should have taken like a 1 hour, job. This man stayed a whole day. Like,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
He was there for like 6 hours. We were just talking.
Want to stay for dinner,
right?
Right. Having lasagna.
Right. And so, a brotherhood formed out of that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, because he was saying like he was a pastor and he could resonate with a lot of the things that I was dealing with and I was going through at the time. And he was just saying like, hey, just encouraging me. But at the same time, I always wanted to bring him on the podcast.
Yeah.
But, I told him like, I have it, but, I ain't going to force it. And when he started seeing all the different things and everything, he was like, the quality and everything and the effort and stuff that you do, like, it's there.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I encourage you, bro, to keep going, because the thing about it is, like, I get that same feeling myself, like, even with music, because I mean, you try to, in a sense, you try to like keep it where it's about God, that, and you're doing this thing for God, like you said, using it as a tool, another avenue to reach people and things like that. But at the same time, too, it's just like, this stuff is not free
at all.
It costs a lot of money. Like, listen, like just like a breakdown, and I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 different like setups for my music. But like at one point, I had a Mac computer, like the iMac, not a laptop. I had the Mac. The Mac. That was like, when it came out, I was like 13, right? Apollo Twin X interface, 13.
Yeah.
Microphone, 800. Like, and then it's like, okay, you do all this, and then like I use FL Studio to record, so like FL Studio, paying for that, paying for any type of plugins I have and stuff like that, right? The time, which is also pay, you're paying. That's invested time, especially when you have a family. I got a wife and 3 kids. I hear about
4,
it.
So
I hear about it.
I got you beat by 1. You can catch up.
No, you can have it. I'm good. You got it. I'm good. But it's like the time invested, all that, bro. And then when you drop something, it doesn't get, and you're just like, and you do that a couple times, and a couple more, but it's just like, you got to keep reminding yourself what you're doing it for. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you never know who's watching, because I've had times where I stop dropping, because I'm just like, nobody's listening.
Nobody paying attention.
But then I'll get a DM like, yo, you haven't dropped in a while. And I'm just like, you get like, it could be that one.
Yeah.
You got to be content with that. Like, it's the craziest part. And I feel like that's the difference between the world and between like when you're doing it for God, and like understanding that the purpose is not for you.
Yeah.
So you have to forget about that and just remember why you're doing it, even if it's to reach a couple souls at a time.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
If you would have stopped, I would have never seen you.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, but it's hard going through when you in them trenches trying to make it happen.
It's fast because I do all of the editing, all of the
Me too.
The cropping.
I feel you.
All of the posting.
Yep.
So if y'all ever engage with anyone on OneFaith, you talking to me, not talking to nobody else.
You're
talking to me. I'm doing it all.
Yep.
And so it's like you put in all that work and all that stuff, and and it's like you'll post something and it don't like get enough traction and whatnot. You're like, well, dog, what do I need to do in order to get it?
Man, listen, I just had a situation sort of similar where I had I actually apologized about this online about it, because I just felt like I needed to, for a reason, for a purpose. I had a show in, I think it was supposed to be, I can't remember exactly where it was supposed to be at, but I was supposed to have a show coming up a little while ago. It would have already happened, and I didn't have it. Low ticket sales. I didn't have it. I canceled it, right? And I felt convicted about that.
Yeah.
About canceling the show. And when I talked to my wife about it, I was like, man, I feel convicted. She was like, why? I said, regardless of Detroit. And I was regardless of it being a packed out show, only being 10 people there, my assignment was to go. And I didn't go. And I know it was my assignment because I feel convicted for not going.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to make big moves like that because it's not cheap to travel to Detroit from North Carolina.
It ain't.
Whether you're flying or driving, either way, you're going to spend it, and it's just like to go and, it talks about the Bible talks about using wisdom as well, in certain things. So for me, I'm like, man, I got a family, bills coming up, $300-$400 to get
bills
the
ain't stopping.
Yeah, $300.
They hungry.
Listen, and my kids young. Like I got a 5, 3, and 2. Like they still need me.
Yeah.
They still need mama. So they always need you, but you get what I'm saying.
I get exactly what you're saying.
It's like to a point. It's just like what But I felt convicted, so it's just like trusting in God too, like that He's gonna provide for you. And it's hard to fathom certain things like that, especially when you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
It's so easy to move when you're by yourself.
It is.
But it's very hard when you got a family that you care about, So yeah, man, it's just I was convicted about that, bro. Yeah. I was like, I should have went, and I went online. I apologized to everybody. Like I was like, and I didn't have to do that, but I just did it just to let people know, like, if God calls you to do something, just like do it. Don't think about how it's going to benefit you, how it may hurt you. If it was called for, I mean, Jesus died that didn't benefit that man at all. On earth. Benefited him zero. You know what I'm saying? But there was a purpose.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's kind of like how I felt about that. So I encourage you, bro. Keep going, bro. Don't stop. I appreciate it. Don't stop.
What I learned in that, because I did go through a season where I was just like discouraged with like posting, and it was like I would post it and it would only get like 200 views and this, that, the other. And then I started posting on like TikTok, Instagram, all different ones. And then TikTok, sometimes it would hit and then it'll be like, I'll get like 600 views and it'll go right back to 200. I'm like,
that algorithm
is like, so I got to the point, the Lord really convicted me, because I was like, all right, I'm tired of this. I'm not, I'm putting a lot of effort in and nobody's seeing it.
Yeah.
And then the Lord convicted me. It was like, you're not doing it for them. Like you're doing it for me.
Facts.
Like you don't know who's watching and who's paying attention and who's really being encouraged by the stuff that you're doing. And so after that, I was like, all right, well, let me just keep going. Let me keep posting. I mean, post through. If it's 200, I'm gonna just keep posting consistently. And so that's what I did. I just had to change my mindset of like, when I post, who am I posting for? And then TikTok, I get a lot of engagement on TikTok. And I actually do love posting more on TikTok because of the fact I get more engagement.
Right.
And just a lot of the stuff that we would post, people would comment. And there's one comment in particular. It's one of the comments, honestly, that really keeps me pushing to keep doing this podcast. And I go to it all the time. And she was just talking about how we were talking about something on the podcast. I think it was talking about hearing God's voice.
Okay.
And she had commented, it was like, I've been trying to hear God's voice for a long time. It was like, but every time I would do it, it was like I would hear it. And so I had hit her up in the DM, line in the DM, but on the comments, it was like, give her some practical tools, like how to listen and hear to God's voice, like pray, don't get up, just wait, listen, different things like that. Surround yourself with worship music and all this stuff. Get in the atmosphere and just wait and hear, and God will speak. And then we had went on a fast, social media fast. So I had stopped posting, I was fasting, all that stuff. And I actually got an email because while you're fasting, on social media, social media gonna find a way to get to you.
They're gonna find a way. It's gonna find a way.
It's gonna find a way. And so I got an email, and it was she had commented on the post.
Oh, it found a way.
It found a way. Crazy. And so I saw the email. I was like, God, I need to see what did she say? What did she say?
Yeah.
And so I went. It was eating me up. I was like, no, but I'm fasting. So I was gonna stay away.
Yeah.
And so when I got back on there and I went up and I saw the comment, she said, I just wanted to come back and tell you guys thank you. Because since that conversation that we've had, I could not stop hearing God's voice.
Wow.
I was like, now I'm hearing his voice and stuff. And so I'm like, if anyone asks what's my why, it's stuff like that.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Stuff like that is my why, because that's what I do the podcast for, because I do see it as a ministry, as a vehicle, as a tool. It's not a ministry as far as like me having a church service, and preaching, and all this other stuff. The word comes through however we, the conversations and stuff that we have. But it's one of those things where it's like, the Lord really had to show me. It was like, you're making impact.
Yeah.
You may not be able to see the impact that you're making off the rip, but if you stay consistent, keep posting, keep doing this, keep doing that, people are watching.
Yeah.
And people are too afraid to even say that, hey, I was encouraged by that. I like that. Or you get a couple ones that are bold enough to say, hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
No,
that's true, bro. Like, I was telling, it's crazy how I was telling my wife the same thing. I talk to my wife about everything, so I keep saying my wife, but we talk. Yeah. So
that's for real, man.
That's all I got. So when I was talking to her like about the whole thing of, because it's crazy how I've recently had to literally. Now this is, it's cliche, we all say it, but I literally had to give my music and give my everything to God. Like I literally had to give it to him, because it's literally like you will stress yourself out trying to figure out how to get to the next level of whatever you're doing. So like your podcast, or with me with music, or even just anything. Like if you're serious about it, you're constantly thinking of ways of how to like grow it and how to make it better and things like that. And for me, I will stress myself out to and I literally just had to give it to God, because it was just like, okay, if this is what you want from me, if this is my purpose on this earth, then you're going to make it happen.
Exactly.
There's nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my understanding at this point is I just give it all to God, bro. Like, you could ask me right now, so what do you got next? Other than like the next couple shows I know that I got, I'm not planning no more. Yeah. Like, I'm done in a sense planning. You know what I mean? Because every time I plan something and I stress out about it and I do all I can to make it happen, it doesn't jump. Yeah. But the moment that I just leave stuff alone, I get booked. I get serious. Like, think about, things just happen, bro. Yeah. So it's just like,
open that door.
Yeah, it's just like he's showing me, and I told my wife this the other day, I literally feel like when I plan something, he literally does not allow it to happen just so I can see that it's only him that's gonna open the door. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I've gotten to that point, and I feel like, you gotta do things to set yourself up, because I mean, you still in a business. Like, I'm doing it for God, but it's still the music business. Like, you're still doing this for God, but it's podcast. It's still like a business to it. Yeah. Still work professionally. Yeah. But allow God to like align your steps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
but I feel you on that. You know, you get a couple people and they might say something, but like my wife told me too, she was like, man, Jesus only had 12. He only had 12 dogs.
That's it.
And even a couple of them dogs switched on him.
Exactly.
So who are you? And you got Jesus out here.
Jesus out, right?
And everybody didn't flock to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, like, you know, just remember, like, it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I remind myself on the constant. And I have to remind myself that every single time I do anything.
Likewise, yeah.
So I feel you.
Likewise. So yeah, man, that's good. I know so this is our first time meeting. Like, this is our first time actually meeting in person.
Yeah.
We talked online and whatnot, but it's our first time connected in person. And so, like I told you, man, like if I had a radio show, I would be very, very honest, blunt, transparent, all of that about music. And it was funny because, like, you know, people will send you stuff and whatnot. Like, check it out and whatnot. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's nice.
Keep going.
Right? Keep going. But you had sent me your stuff and I was listening to it and I was like, okay, you got something going here. And then it turned into me listening to one song to listen to all the songs.
Oh, praise God.
And I was just like, okay, there's something here. Because for one, your comment about, you know, finding us and all that stuff, it stood out. But then, like, listening to your music and then seeing the videos and the stuff that you put out so far, it's like, yeah, you do take this thing serious.
Yeah.
And you're not just, you know, playing games.
Right.
You're legit about it. And it's not to say, like, you know, the music and stuff is whack. It's not. It's very dope. Like, I love your music.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've been sending it out to people.
Oh,
like,
man. Praise God.
As soon as they sent it to me and I listened to it, I was like, yo. I hit up, like, my boys and everything. I was like, listen to this. Like,
yeah.
I even told my wife, listen to this. And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
And, like, my kids, like, they listen to it. They love it. So I was like, I was just thinking, it was like, I wonder, and it's not a knock against what you've done so far.
Yeah.
Because I think that what you've done so far is great. I was like, I wonder, like, what your sound would be like, you know, once you have arrived or made it, you know, like, you have the full production, the studio, and everything that you need. It's like, I wonder what your sound would sound like then. Yeah. Because it just made me think, it was like, if you had, like, all of those tools already in place and those things working for you, like, you had Lecrae level production and stuff like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, and that's man, it's crazy you said that, because I'm in this place right now where being an independent artist, I like it. Yeah. Because I have, and this isn't to sound controlling, but I have full control of how I create and when I drop and how I drop and all that kind of stuff. At the same time, the label version of me is interested because of those things, though, because they put you in a place where I personally feel like if I, like you said, it's weird you say that. I just told my wife this. I know I keep saying that, but I just told her, like, we talk about this all day, but it's just like, because she's my manager, by the way. So like anything I do with music, she's on it first. Like, she sees it first. But we were just talking about how if I was able to get with a team or sign with like a label, the tools that they have would just open the floodgates.
It was like it'll elevate and enhance your sound. Like, you have a good flow. Your production and stuff is really good. And it's like, if you had just those tools to elevate it,
it would just change the game. It would change the game.
It would change the game immediately. And I'm not saying that to be like to sound facetious or
no.
Be like, you know, I'm, you know, anything. Like, I told you, I'm a hard critic. Like,
yeah. So no, this means a lot.
I'm a hard critic when it comes to music. You can ask my wife. Yeah. Like, I give it. If I hear something on the radio, I give it 3 seconds. If you don't get past those 3 seconds,
I'm the same way.
It's gone.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm the same way.
But it was like, I listen to your music. It's like the first 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing. You're building up. The beat haven't dropped yet. Then by the time the beat drop, I'm already hooked into the song. I was like, all right, dope. That's
okay, cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, But but it's funny because like anytime we in the car listen to the radio and stuff, and this goes with gospel music too, because I just believe personally, I'm not gonna get you in trouble. This is my opinion.
Let's go. I know where he's going.
He's an upcoming artist. He's trying to collab with everybody. This is the thoughts and opinions of TJ McKnight of OneFaith podcast.
I ain't collabing with everybody.
This is the podcast.
I'm on your side. Let's take it there. I'm with it.
Listen. Some of this music is trash. It's trash. And I'm like, how in the world does it make the radio waves and it's trash? I mean, of course we know like money.
The machine is behind it. They got a machine behind
it. But it's like, man, this stuff is garbage. And it's, and it's like a lot of and I'm talking about gospel music, and I'm not talking about the whole industry, because there's certain songs and there's certain artists who are legit.
Yeah.
Like they are about it. Yeah. Like they live what they sing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking because I'm like, you don't know nobody. I know a few.
Yeah.
Who are legit. But like even listening to those songs is like everybody get the same 3-second rule.
Yeah.
Like you got the first 3 seconds. Like if you catch my attention in 3 seconds, look, rocking. Like we good.
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
But I just say that because like I love listening to music, but at the same time it's like it's refreshing to hear, artists who are legit, who are serious about their craft and make good music.
Yeah.
Like not everybody can make good music like that. So
no, seriously.
Kudos to you.
Appreciate it, man.
Like talk to me about how you got into making music and what pushed you into, because I know you probably didn't start making Christian rap music.
No.
Almost every rapper didn't start making Christian rap.
Definitely not. Nah, so for me,
pushed you into that realm.
So I started, first of all, like from music, period, as a musician from my parents' church. So my mother, shout out to my parents, Louis, my dad is Louis Baker as well. He's Louis Baker the 4th.
Okay.
I'm Louis Baker the 5th.
Okay.
We stopped it. So you ain't got to worry about it. But it is.
There's no more Louis Bakers out there.
We done. I'm the last of the Mohicans right there. But nah, my dad, my mother's an apostle, my dad's a bishop. They started the church very, very, I think October, that was last month, was their 16-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
congratulations.
Yeah. So they started there. So I started as a keyboard player.
Okay.
My mom bought me and my brother drums and keyboards when we was kids, the toy ones. Mm-hmm. And then we started out, we was trash, we was horrible. But, my mom, she's from Jamaica. Uh-huh. So so she didn't care about the sound. You know what I'm saying? It's all about just giving God the praise. So, but we learned and got better, of course. But started there. Once I, fast track, I moved to Greensboro. I was dating a girl at the time. Moved to Greensboro because she was in school out there. I wasn't in school. I just wanted to be out there in Greensboro with her. Mm-hmm. And because we were out there, I met some friends and stuff when I was working. And the guy was like, hey, I got a studio. I'm young. I'm probably like 18, 19. Mm-hmm. This is back in like 2016. So at that time, moved out there and we went to the studio, hanging out with him. Of course, the music was different for me because I'd never been like on a record at all, know. So I'm in the studio, I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to learn how to catch the beat for real, all that kind of stuff. And next thing I know, man, just started making music, bro. We had a little team called Vintage Point. Okay. I don't know why that was called the name, but we were called Vintage Point. It wasn't my label. It was my friend, one of my guys. So we was doing that. We was traveling to Atlanta and paying to be on showcases. We were not popping at all. We were just trying to make a wave out of nothing, Right. So then, kept rapping and stuff. That died. Met my wife out in Greensboro. Well, obviously me and the other girl, it didn't work out. It was high school stuff, Shout out to her and her family, no beef. But I met the lady I'm with now, my wife, Keandra. And when we moved back to Raleigh from Greensboro, I was still rapping, but doing like secular rap. But then I really started feeling like convicted. But I ignored it. I just kept on living life because I'm like, it is what it is, like certain circumstances in my life started happening where I knew, because see, once you already have God in you, like you know when it's just life, and you know when you're getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting in trouble with God. You know what I'm saying? So the conviction was just to the roof. And I just learned, like, okay, I got to, a couple things happen in my life and stuff where I was just like, man, I gotta change my ways. And it's starting with music. And the reason for that is because music is very heavy in my life. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I wonder if, and my mom, oh God, my mom, she'll always be like, when are you going to make a Christian song that I can listen to? Because she didn't want all the cussing and all that. I'm just like, yeah, Mom, okay, yeah, all right. You know, I remember I made my first Christian song, right? When I was going through my change and stuff in 2023. And I made my first Christian song. It's called On God. And that was the devil been counting me out, but Jesus been counting me in. So that one, I made that, right? At that time, I didn't know any Christian artists. Let me backtrack a little bit. I didn't know any Christian artists. Like, I'm like, the only Christian artist I know is Lecrae. And to me, I was like, he's old school, you know, in my mind. Because, like, my dad was listening to Lecrae. So I was just like, my dad was listening to Lecrae. So I was just like, you know, I mean, no beef to Lecrae. I'm just like, I don't know Lecrae, you know. I started looking and doing my research, though. I'm like, okay, let me see. You know, I found out he had like a label with Reach and stuff. I'm like, okay. And I started seeing his artists that he got. I started seeing other artists. And I ran across one particular artist by the name of Mike Teasy. Mike Teasy, he actually lives near where I'm at. He's in Winston, I think. I think he's in Winston. And I was like, yo, like, very familiar because we're around the same age bracket. He's probably like maybe 2 years older. He's like 30, I think. Wife. I don't think he got kids, but at the time, like, it's like, okay, married, black dude. We similar in a lot of ways. And I was like, it's possible, you know? Like you said, you get inspired. Like a lot of rappers, you're inspired by other rappers and stuff. So I'm like, all right, let's do this, you know. So I dropped that record, right? As soon as I drop it, my mom goes crazy. I'm like, you always gonna be proud of me, you know. So she was proud of me and stuff. And from there, like I didn't know how to even drop the record because I never recorded sober. I always recorded drunk. Wow. Because I've never been a smoker. But I used to drink heavy. Like heavy. Because I was living in Greensboro. You know what I'm saying? College time, 19 years old, 20, 21, like, you know, you're drinking. You know, so every time I recorded, I was like drunk. You know what I'm saying? Or just feeling real good. That song, I'm like, obviously, I'm not gonna record drunk. You know what I'm saying? I have God in me, you know, but it's like I know the do's and don'ts. So I get in the studio. I'm not one of those rappers that got in trying to make a Christian song high. Like, I'm not doing that. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. And I'm just like, okay, God, this is either gonna be trash or this is gonna be something special. Started recording, man. Didn't write. I wrote. Other times when I make music and I go in the studio and read, didn't write nothing for On God. I recorded on live. I was on Instagram Live. People watched me make the song in real time. And I'm sitting there I think I still do that, you know, but now it's like I'm sitting there recording and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go. And I'm punching back in. I'm going, song was done. And the response I was getting was just crazy of people like, yo, this is what you need to be doing. Like, this is it. Ever since then, I was like, yeah, I'm sticking with Christian music. Making that decision,
costing it.
Making that decision, the devil attacked me so hard. I started in 2023 with Christian rap, converted over to Christian rap, didn't look back at trap rap or nothing. When I did that, when I tell you anything that could happen bad started happening to me. Losing my job, my wife, we were pregnant at the time, or she was pregnant at the time. We had 2 kids prior. Our last kids gave her the worst situation. Had to have a C-section. Wow. I'm talking like immediate on the floor. They're like checking for his head to see where it's at. Oh, wow. They couldn't even like remove themselves because they're like, if I let go, he's gonna suffocate to the umbilical cord. The nurse is in her bed, holding him and saying, let's go. So they're taking her.
Wow.
As they're taking her, I'm like, yo, what do I do?
That's a lot.
They're like, sir, put this on. You got to put stuff on for C-section. So I'm like, all right, I'm putting on a whole suit. I don't even know what I'm doing. Now, mind you, I've been there, done that, 2 kids before. So I'm in the room playing the game, chilling, is it time yet? Playing the game. They're like, sir, we got to go. So I'm just like, I freak out. By the time I get in there, the baby's already out. That's how fast they move. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm looking at my wife. She's going in and out because they have her so heavily sedated for the drugs. I'm just like, yo. And then like, stuff was just happening, so bro, fast. Like so fast. So I stopped making the music. I just stopped because too much was happening. Yeah. And then I realized that all that was just a distraction from the enemy because as I'm going through all of this, he just wanted me to stop making the music, and he knew how to get me. It's only one way to make me react. Yeah. That's mess with my family. Yeah. With anybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and I have to control that too, because that's the one thing for me. Like, I'm a good guy until you try to mess with my family. Mess with my people then. A whole different Lewis. You know what I'm saying?
You get Lou.
You get Lou. You get Lou at that point. Yeah, the hat turns to the back, and it's different. So for me, it's just like, man, when all that happened, like boom. Then my wife had came to me. Long story short, my wife had came to me, was just like, hey, you need to get back to making music again. And at this time, in my mind, I'm like, babe, I'm about to be, now I'm like, how old am I? I'm 28 right now, so I was probably like 26, 27. So I'm like, babe, I'm about to be 30. I don't need to be, and that plays a factor too for all the ones that keep it real. You feel like the older you get, I don't need to be doing certain stuff no more. I'm like, babe, I'm about to be 30. I don't need to be trying to rap. I need to be trying to get a job, 401k, and
take care of these kids. Need to grow up.
I got real stuff to do. She's like, babe, you need to make music. Yeah. I said, okay. So I got back into it. You know what I'm saying? In 2024, got back like heavy in it. And I'm not looking back, bro. Wow. And like I said, I have to give it to God and understanding that it's God's timing. Yeah. We can put our own timing on stuff all we want. You know what I'm saying? But it's God's timing. So that's sort of like my path of like music, but definitely started in the church. It went way far away from the church. Yeah. And then I'm right back in there now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm just at a point where this is what it is. And, I'm not changing for nobody. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's good. It reminds me, your story reminds me a lot of mine's in a way, because I knew I was called to ministry when I was a kid, and like literally I was like 8, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, between those ages, and I was at the grocery store with my mom, and this lady who was ringing up our groceries, the cashier, she just looked at me and she said, "You're going to be a preacher." I was like,
who are you talking to?
Some Skittles, like just want these Starbursts. Like, anybody think about that? She's like, I just see it all over you. You're gonna be a preacher, and I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. And then going about my business, going about my life, and then it was when I played the drums in church. So growing up playing the drums in the church and everything like that, my mom was very, very, very spiritual, very, very spiritual. She was one of the reasons why we got back into the church, because long story short about her, 1998 she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Was only given 2 years to live. Wow. I was 8 years old and we was really trying to figure it out. She beat cancer. The Lord healed her.
Praise God.
She had to get half of her lung removed. Yeah. So she had a lung and a half. And then from there, we was back in the church heavy. Because before that, they were like, we was in church, but really not in church like that.
Boy. You
but like, as soon as that happened, we could not go anywhere else but church. Right. So, but yeah, so when growing up in church, I sung in the choir, and then I came out of singing in the choir and started playing the drums. And my mom, she said one, I think it was like one rehearsal one Sunday, she was like, "You're gonna come from behind those drums and play and preach." Okay. Yeah. We'll see. All right, whatever. And then I go through high school, and so I mean I'm a pretty hefty now, but going to in high school, I was husky. So in middle school, high school, you huskies. And so confidence was just like down here. So I didn't talk to girls. I didn't talk to nobody. I just talked to my friends. We just had fun. I was a class clown, so I mean, you gotta growing up in Durham, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
Like people, you gonna get bullied.
Yeah,
you gotta have some type of comeback or something. So that's how I
Durham rough. Durham rough. I stayed away from Durham, boy. I stayed away.
But surprisingly, it's not that bad. Like it's really not that bad. It's just certain areas, you got to stay away from.
Hillside, stayed away from there.
Certain areas you just got to stay away from. But like, yeah. So growing up, and so like, really struggled with confidence and stuff like that. And so in high school, my sophomore year going into my junior year, I lost 70 pounds.
Wow.
Was playing football. Quit football after the first week because I hated it. I said I would never go back.
What year was this? What
this
school
was
year?
2000 and so this was like my sophomore year. So
sophomore year, okay.
2006. Yeah, 2006. I was actually at Southern Durham High School.
Okay.
And I was, I had went out for conditioning. So I was an idiot. So I went out for conditioning, and I'm not athletic, but I love playing basketball. I just play outside and all this stuff. So I don't know nothing about like the seriousness and like really eating and doing right and taking care of your body and stuff like that when it comes to sports. So I was an idiot. So we had signed up for football, for conditioning and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I'll go out because the coaches, they really wanted me. They saw my size. They was like, yeah, you gonna be something.
Yeah.
And so like this one coach, he would like pound me every day and was like, you going to play. My mom wanted me to play everything. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go out there and play. First day of conditioning, we had 2-a-days.
Yeah.
And so they canceled the first half because I think it was like weather or something like that. So I was like, all right, I got up for nothing. I'm hungry. Let me go get something to eat. I ate some fried chicken and a whole bunch of stuff. And it was just like, all right, I'm just chilling out until the next session. Next session starts. I threw up the fried chicken. I threw up everything. I struggled to get through that workout. I hated it. I was like, this
football
sucks.
is different beast.
Football is different. And then so they put us on like a special diet. And so I didn't adhere to it. I just eat fried chicken. It was like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
But they put us on that special diet because we was outside in the summer. It was like, 100 degrees outside and you doing all that running and stuff. And so I remember it took me a lot to get through that first day. And so I was like, I told my mom, I was like, I quit. I don't want to do it no more.
Exactly.
She was like, no, you're going to do it. And so I went the whole week. And then the following Monday, we did the exact same drills. We just added one more rep to it. I like beasted the whole drills. I lost 20 pounds that first week.
That's crazy. No,
just,
for real,
wow. I had lost 20 pounds that first week. And then I was like, I quit football. I hate football. I don't want to do it. I don't do anything with football. So I quit. My mom, she was like upset, but my dad, he had my back because he was like, well, he wants to play basketball, so put him in basketball. So I started playing basketball. I had lost a bunch of weight playing basketball, loved playing basketball, and that's how I like lost a whole bunch of weight. Confidence
through the roof.
Because I'm skinny, tall, I'm that guy, all right, I'm feeling good. So I'm like, I'm that guy now.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't tell me nothing, all these things. So I played basketball at Kestrel Heights for my junior year, senior year. I go off to college. And that's when I'm introduced to my mentor. Actually, my senior year, I was introduced to my mentor, and he attended Upper Room Church of God in Christ.
Okay.
And that's how I got plugged into that church. And then because he would take me to the different college campus ministries because he was over that at UNC at the time.
Okay.
So being a senior in high school, going to UNC campus, I'm like, yo, I'm a big Tar Heel fan anyway. So I'm like, okay, this is the life.
Yeah. I'm good right here.
I'm good right here. And so I get plugged in, connected to campus ministry through there. And so I'm just already in. But it didn't stop me from like doing me.
Yeah.
I was just keeping it to the book.
Yeah.
And so I was still kind of like doing me a little bit, but after my senior year, I had a really bad breakup, and I was like, all right, I'm giving it all to God and all that stuff. So I went a whole year being celibate, just really, really paying attention to God. No more drinking. I didn't really smoke. So I was the athlete in high school that, like you said earlier, talking about Asa saying, like, I don't want to taint him.
Yeah.
So that's what people were saying about me. It was like, I don't want to taint you because you the next LeBron. Like, it was, so one of my friends, who was the twins, it was like, because we was at our senior trip, and we were getting drunk and all that stuff. So yes, high schoolers get drunk. That's why
Of course.
be drinking and smoking and all that stuff. And so we had a hotel room at the beach. Everybody's drunk and we out on the patio. They smoking cigarettes and stuff. And I was like, yo, let me try one.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I ain't about to get you hooked. I ain't about to be the reason why, you go down or whatnot. And I was like, but let me try it. So he let me try it one time. I was like,
not for me.
Not for me. I was like, I don't know how in the world people smoke cigarettes. That junk is nasty.
Yeah, they stink.
It's bitter. It stink, right? And so it was like, after that, I was like, yeah, I ain't with that. But drinking was my thing. So
yeah, me too.
I just got into drinking a lot and then all that stuff. And then, but after coming out of that breakup, I was like, all right, give it all over to God.
Yeah.
Celibate, giving up drinking, all that stuff. Gave all that stuff up. And was celebrating all that stuff for a whole year. And during that time is when God started like meeting me about my calling. Like I would have the same dream consistently every day for 3 months.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And it was just a dream of me preaching at my old church.
Yeah.
At the church I grew up at. And I would just see myself preaching in the pulpit for 3 months. Like every night I would go to sleep. All right. Every night. All right, God, you ain't got no other dream again. Okay, I got it.
Go to bed ready for it.
Right. And so I already had like kind of built up a reputation at college because I do take that back. I did drink a little bit in college because it was my freshman year. Because freshman year you got to get lit. Come on, it's freshman year, you got to get lit a little bit. So freshman year, and so this is a good one. So this is a really good one. We're gonna dabble into this whole conversation about fraternities and sororities here in this piece. Because my friends, they were so at Barton during the time when I was there, they didn't have no Black Greek fraternities. I was trying to bring them on.
Okay.
I was working with the NAACP. I had an advisor on campus, and I was trying to bring on different frats and sororities to Barton. I believe they have them now. Okay. But during that time, like I really wanted to be a Q dog. Yeah. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, of course.
No good reasons.
Of course. I wanted to too. I even like real quick, I even wanted to join a chapter. Yeah. A grad chapter.
Yeah, same here.
And my wife will not let me do it. You're not gonna be no Q dog. Yeah, I ain't about to be married to no Q dog. I'm just listen. And then there's other reasons too why I won't do it. But it's just like, I'm just like, I wanted to be a Q. If I was gonna sign it, sign. If I was gonna be with any of them, it was gonna be Qs. Either Qs or Kappas. I like Kappas too.
Yeah. You got the red on. I mean, you got
no.
You can go ahead and get to.
They were smooth. Yeah, I was. Them shoulders was crazy, boy. It was either them or them, one of the two. But the Qs always showed me more love, so it's just like, my bad though.
You said what?
A Q?
A Q? A
Kappa?
And
your brother?
My son's godfather.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, so growing up, it was one of my cousins, her ex-boyfriend, husband, whatever, he was a Q dog. And he would play, not like that, but we would play and whatnot. And so I always admired like his the branding on his arm. Yeah. And I was like, yo, that's dope. It was like I just always saw that. He always had the muscles and stuff and all that stuff. So I was like,
them guys are serious, man.
So I was like, I want to be that growing up. So like I've always had that image. And then when I was in high school, one of our neighbors, he was a Q dog, and he was like, you go off to college, you pledge Q, come find me afterwards. I got you a job. And then he worked at Boeing or something like that. He was like, I got you a job when you graduate.
They locked in out
So and so I was like, all right, bet. Yeah. So that was one of the reasons, the branding and all that stuff. Wanted to be all jacked up, the branding and all that stuff. The girls, all those things. Like that was the
way.
That was the me. Like that was the trifecta. Like you already had me.
That was it.
And so I was trying to bring all that stuff into at Barton. But didn't happen because we couldn't get the NAACP stuff to work, and a whole bunch of other hurdles we had to kind of jump through that we couldn't get jump through, and so that left us with all the white fraternities.
Yeah.
That's all that's there because that's left. Huh? Oh, I'm about to get onto them. So my friends, they'll probably, kill me, but I don't care. But they pledge Pi Kappa Psi Phi, something like that. And it's a Christian fraternity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who are they?
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
Yeah.
And so I went just being like, I'll see about it, because they were like, he was like, it's
cool.
a Christian fraternity. He was like, it's a Christian fraternity.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. And he was like, your mom will love it because it's a Christian fraternity. I was like, right, she might. And I wouldn't get in anything that ain't, bad or whatever. So, okay, I took their word for it, and I went to the frat party that they had that night. And so
Christian frat party.
It wasn't Christian. That party was not Christian at all.
I don't think that was Christian.
That party was not Christian at all. They had kegs, some beer, like tequila. My best friend is like Hispanic, and so they always lit.
Yeah,
they got tequila. They got it all.
The real stuff.
So I go to the party, and at this time I had already kind of like given up drinking.
Yeah.
And I was just just going, and so I went, and my friends, they were part of this fraternity, so they all got into the middle of the room and started doing their their little stroll and their chant.
Yeah.
And so I was listening intently because I was sober. He
was wide awake.
I was wide awake, right? I was woke. And so I was listening intently. And what I heard, I was like, this does not sound Christian at all.
Right.
Because in the part of their stroll, or part of the chant that they were saying, I don't know the whole thing. The only thing I remember was this last part was saying that all pi caps are damned to hell. And I said,
that's completely opposite.
That's completely opposite of Christian. That ain't
what I want to be a part of.
I know, right? I left that party so fast. Y'all can have it.
Y'all can have it.
Y'all can have it.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Right? Y'all can have it. And so all the white fraternities about to come for me right now, but I don't care. If you made it this far into the conversation, I just want to say thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. My name is TJ. And listen, if you haven't done this yet, I want to encourage you to do exactly what I'm about to tell you to do. You know it's coming. You know it was coming. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you found us. You can follow us at We Are OneFaith on all social media platforms. When you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, you'll get access to all of our content. Also, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you like to stream your podcast, you can find us. All you have to do is search OneFaith Podcast and you'll find us there. With your support, we are able to spread the gospel. With your generosity. Just playing. With your support, we are able to make sure that our content reaches the people that it needs the most. And if you've been blessed by what we've been doing with OneFaith, I just want to encourage you to share it with somebody else. The more people you share it with, the more it helps us to spread the gospel and also to make sure that we reach that person. So thank you for watching. Let's jump back into the conversation. And then I was talking to this other girl, and she was at Elizabeth City.
Okay.
And she
that's another crazy school.
Yeah, it's another wild school. And so that school was wild at the time when I was there. That school was wild.
Yeah,
and so
I've heard stories about them.
Horror stories. But one story in particular, this girl was telling me about how this girl went to the Q-Dog party.
Yeah.
And she had gotten raped.
Oh.
And
jeez.
Yeah, she got ran through. And so she was just telling me about how that during that time it was just really bad. And I was like, and I just really were perplexed. I was really perplexed about, what to do.
Yeah.
Because I knew internally why I wanted to pledge.
Yeah.
Why I wanted to do all these things. But it didn't line up with that.
Yeah.
And so I remember just hearing some of those things, and I knew that that God didn't want me to go into that direction.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I've always said in my life is that when it comes to fraternities and sororities, all this stuff, but can't play a sorority because we're men.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the things I've always said was that I always wanted God to bless me.
Yeah.
I don't want no man, nobody to say that it's because of me that you got here. Yeah. I always wanted God to get that credit, get that glory, get that honor.
Now let me ask you this: what did you think about the the spiritual side of it? Because I've heard a lot about that too. That sort of made me think twice.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So it's it's twofold because, and this is not to like crap on the people that I know.
Yeah, I
who are
don't want to
still
get
in
you.
it.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, because I mean, they know. I didn't know how
Yeah.
they know how I stand about all this stuff, so I don't really care. But
Okay.
I love my people and all that stuff. But I think like on the spiritual side, it's different. Like my best friend, he said that he joined a fraternity and he got closer to God through that
Okay.
process. Now his fraternity is not the big three, like you
Okay.
know, Kappa,
Mhm.
Omega, and whatever.
Yeah.
Alpha, yeah, it's not those.
Okay.
But his is, you know, he talked about how wild and stuff and the stuff that they did too. But he said that God put him in his fraternity to bring other people out. And so he's been drawing people to God through,
purpose.
for a purpose.
Yeah,
So
like
I
that.
think that that's necessary. That's
Yeah.
it can have that type of, you know, impact in people's lives. He doesn't do anything with his fraternity now.
Yeah.
You know, dude is almost 40 years old. So.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I think one thing that really stood out to me was I was trying to buy a car one time, and the guy was a Q dog, and I was just sitting there talking to him, giving him all my information. We just talking. The whole time we talking, he's not paying any attention to me at all. It was this lady that walked in. He was watching her the whole time. Like, yeah, you want this 2013 Dodge Charger? Okay, yeah.
He was stuck.
Yeah.
He was stuck.
It's your social security number 123. Okay, yeah, 45. Yeah, all right. What? And then your income you made. Okay, that's good. And I'm like, and like he just watching her the whole time. I'm like, okay, bro. Like it's like, and because I was telling him about how I want to be a Q dot. He was like, yeah, you know, we a Christian. We Christian too. We love the things and all that stuff. And he's just watching her. And it's like just paying attention.
Just go
to her.
talk to her at this
Like,
point,
man.
bro.
It's like, yeah, we love the Lord too, and you know, and I'm like, bro, I'm right here. Like,
just go talk to her at this point.
And so, and I just remember that, and I was just like, yeah, I ain't about to do that.
Yeah.
Knowing the history, knowing a lot of the things that I know about fraternities and sororities, and knowing that, you know, the oaths and the things that they chant, the things that they, you know, give themselves to in that way. It's a lot of deep, dark stuff.
Yeah.
And to placate into all of that stuff, my personal stance is that, you know, I'm not pledging or desire to pledge a grad chapter in those things. You know, once I've been revealed, all that stuff been revealed to me, been exposed to all those things, I made that decision a long time ago. I said, like I was saying earlier, like I want God to get the glory out of everything that I do.
Yeah.
I want Him to be the reason why I get this job. I want Him to be the reason why I get promoted. I want Him to be the reason why, you know, He's providing all of these things. Since making that decision, honestly, like it has been God that has been blessing me, that has been doing these things. And it's not to say that that He can't do that for other people and all the other stuff too. But I'm saying for me, because of decisions and stuff that I made, I've seen God's hand move on situations.
Yeah.
I've received jobs that I did not apply for. Like,
wow.
I received job offers for jobs that I did not apply for. I received sign-on bonuses for jobs that I did not apply for, nor did I expect to get sign-on bonuses for these jobs.
Wow.
And I've seen God move in a lot of different ways to where even now, like we're going through a tight season. And I've seen God still provide and move even in this difficult season that we're in financially. I've seen Him provide. You know, could I have lean on, like, could I say, oh, I can lean on my brothers and all this stuff to help out? Possibly, yeah. But to me, it's more beneficial to know that I can lean and depend on God.
Man,
and that He can provide. I'm learning that He is Jehovah Jireh. My provider. Like we say it all the time. Like, He's Jehovah Jireh, blah, blah, blah. But learning and knowing that He's providing based on the season that we're in, seeing Him pay bills when I don't know how this bill is going to get paid.
Real talk.
Seeing my income being reduced and then seeing Him still put food on our tables, like clothes on our backs and shoes on our feet. We still are able to keep this house. Like, and I know it's getting a little personal, but at the same time, it's real because this is stuff that we deal with. And to see God's hand still be heavy on my life, heavy in the things that we're doing, I wouldn't trade that decision for the world.
No.
Not knocking anyone that did,
Right.
but I'm saying, like, when you live your life solely dedicated, solely sold out to God, and you see Him move, there's no doubt.
No.
There's no doubt in my mind. Like,
That's crazy.
y'all can say all the weird stuff about God, all the whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen God move.
Right.
I've experienced Him.
Yeah.
I've encountered the real, true, and living God.
Seriously, yeah.
There's nothing that could ever make me doubt Him, or nothing that could ever make me desire anything other than Him.
Yeah.
No fraternity, no anything would ever turn me away from where I'm at right now with God.
That's crazy.
And I say all of that because, like, yes, you said, you hit it earlier. When we make that decision to go full 110 for God, you will get attacked.
Yeah.
You will get attacked. You
Seriously.
can't figure out why in the world these things are happening. Like, why X, Y, and Z is happening in my life. And just talking about, even in the seasons, like trying to figure out why is all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
But it's because God is showing us truly who He is.
Yeah. Not
only He's showing us who He is, but He's also developing character. He's developing things in us. I've been reading. So I've read the story of Joseph all my life, and I know all the things about him, all that stuff. But one thing that is sticking out to me as I read the story of Joseph now is his time in the prison. Because you see, when he received his gift at an early age, you know, people, they crapped on it. His brothers, they were like, man, get out of here. Your favorite, all this, get out of here. Nobody care about your cloak, your coat, your colorful coat. They tried to kill him, bury him, all that stuff. They ain't care about him. But his gift was developed and it was shown at such an early age to where it was the same gift that carried him even from the pit to the palace.
Yeah.
From the palace back to the pit, which is prison.
Yeah.
And while he was in prison, while he was going through, he never, how can I put it? He never questioned God or doubted God the way that we doubt God when we go through seasons of when we're in the pit or in prison.
Yeah.
Like, we may complain. Like, he may have complained because he said, like, I'm in the pit, talking about the prison or anything like that. Get me out of here. But he never once said, God, this gift got me here.
Yeah.
Like, why did you give me this thing? Why did you put this burden on my heart? Why did you put this burden on my heart to preach? Why did you put this burden on my heart to rap? Why did you put this thing on me? And all of this stuff is happening. It's because God is developing everything in you.
Yes.
He can't take you to the palace if you don't know how to handle the pit.
There's an artist that I listen to, Caleb Gordon. I was listening to him on the way here, and in one of his songs, he said, "How can you say you ever stood on 10 toes if you've never been at the bottom?"
Come on.
That's real.
That's real.
I mean, you got to go through things. The substance is the beauty is in the journey. I tell people that all that time. It's not the destination. Because, I mean, if we can I want $1 million. I got $1 million. You're not going to appreciate that.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? But the journey and how you go through things and what you go through, man, literally where we live at right now, we had a situation where same situation, reduced income because I'm taking the music way more serious. So reduced income, my wife, she's doing what she can do. And we literally had a situation where, okay, the rent was coming up. So we're like, okay, the rent's coming up. And this is real life, this time testimony. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to figure all that out. As we're trying to figure it out, I'm like, all right. Like, I think the first was like 2 days from when I was looking. I was like, man, we got to pay this thing. So I logged in. It would not let me log into our account to pay the rent. So I'm just like, man, it won't let me log in. And she's like, won't let me log in either. So, if you don't got the money, something, you don't want to call these people. So I'm like, I was looking for the make arrangement button or something. I got to talk to somebody.
Please.
Please. So I'm just like, all right, let me call him. So I'm on the phone like, hey, yeah, this is Lewis. It won't let me log in. I'm trying to see how much I owe you. I know how much the rent is. It won't let me. Can you reset it? He's like, yeah, let me look into it. I'll call you back and let you know how much it is. And I said, okay, cool. I let my wife know that, and I'm just waiting. So about 30 minutes later, I get a phone call. Mr. Baker, I said, yeah, this is me. He said, so you're at this address, right? I said, yeah, I'm at that address. He said, it actually showing that you don't have to pay any rent until January. I said, what? He said, nah, man, it shows November and December is paid for. I said, Louis Baker, right? You know, I'm like, Louis Baker.
This address.
Louis Baker. Well,
Apartment 3.
Put in Baker Lewis. Make sure you putting it in right. You know, Louis Baker the fifth.
Right.
You know, this is where we at. He said, no, you're good. You're good. This is showing right here. He said, I'm going to make sure with the other lady, but we'll make sure. I said, okay, I'll wait for you to make sure. I'm not going to tell my wife this. I'm not going to say nothing. They called me back maybe 10 minutes. No, she texted me. The front office lady, she'll like shoot you a text because she's always busy. She said, hey, Louis, no, he's right. You're good until January. Man, I just stretched my arms out in that living room, bro.
Listen.
And like for me, and this is something I've really been dealing with, I grew up like not really trying to show emotion, but I've learned over time that it's okay.
Yeah.
And as men, we struggle with that at times, you know, but for me, I struggled with it. And I'm much better with it now. But that day, man, I just stretched out.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, only God, bro.
Only God.
I did not have the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was going to be an arrangement to have to be set up. We was going to have to figure something out. But God, man. So, like, little things like that, you know what I'm saying? Where obedience, you know what I'm saying, is better than sacrifice. And just doing what you're supposed to do. And, you know, I'm not sitting here saying God's going to pay my rent every month. You know, I'm not saying that, but he makes a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's beautiful to do that, but it takes the obedience and having the faith in God that it's going to happen. I tell my mom, she has the craziest faith. We call it crazy faith. She has crazy faith. When I was similar to you, my mother, when I was born in 97. So my mom had my 2003. So 03, in 03, I was like 6, I guess. My mom, she had a stroke. Now, mind you, my mom was 27 when she had the stroke.
Wow.
My dad was 24.
Wow.
They were young. Like, imagine that age dealing with something like that. 3 kids now at this time because they just had my youngest brother, Brandon. Shout out to Eman and Brandon, Emmanuel and Brandon. So Brandon was newborn. My mom, they came home. My dad went to, I think, go get something out the kitchen or whatever. He trying to wake her up. She's not moving, not budging. Doctors, you know, he called 911 come out. I'm a kid. All I remember is lights. You know, I just remember the lights and people in my house. I don't really remember it though. So long story short, my mom, she went to the doctor. Next thing I know, my dad is telling me, hey, you're going to go live with your grandma in Florida for the summer. I guess was the summer. In my mind, it was the summer. So you're going to go be with her for a while. Me and my brothers, we all went to Florida. Now, before going to Florida, I remember just seeing my dad crying, man. Like my dad was crying on his knees and stuff. And all kinds of stuff. My mother, she had a stroke. She was bleeding 3 different places in her brain.
Jesus.
So it was crazy, right? At 27, it's wild. And she wasn't even like a drinker like that or smoker. Like, she's really a healthy person. So this was just wild. Anyways, as going through that process, my mom actually passed away.
Wow.
So flatline, done.
Wow.
As they're going through that process of that, next thing I know, she could tell her testimony way better than me. But as going through all of that, she ended up coming back. They didn't, I guess it's resuscitate. I think they didn't do nothing like that to her. Like, she was like done. They went ahead and was like putting the cloth over. And bro, it's like a movie. I know when I say it, it sounds crazy, but it's like a movie. As they're putting, and my dad told it, the doctor told the story. As they're putting the white sheet over her face, she came back.
Jesus.
And then it was, so when my mom came back, now mind you, she had a stroke, right? And you know, that's all brain trauma and stuff. So she got back, she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, she couldn't do anything. Going through that process, you know, they went back home. I'm fast forwarding it like crazy, but they went home. Once they went back home after getting out the hospital, all that kind of stuff, mind you, they're telling my dad through the whole process, like, hey, you need to start making arrangements for her to have like people at the house because she's not gonna be able to walk, talk, nothing like that. My dad will go to work. All right, baby, you sit right there. You know, I'll be back. I still got to make money. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be back. He's leaving to go to work. She's like, you know, because she can't talk. She'll tell me to come here. As soon as he shut that door, she's getting up. I'm like, Mom.
She been hard-headed.
Now, listen now. You better listen. You know, I'm like 7. I'm like, yo, I can't do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? My mom is like trying to walk. I'm talking about boom, hits the ground. I have to go get the neighbor
to come help.
Neighbor come over, Miss Baker, what are you doing? You could see the frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes by. She got a walker. She's walking with a walker. She wasn't even supposed to be able to do that. Started talking again. My mom today, you can't deny God in front of her. She's so just engulfed in his presence and his realness because of what she went through. You wouldn't even know today that she went through that.
Wow.
Walking, talking,
Jesus,
doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she has her deficiencies a little bit, but it's stuff you would never know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from that, seeing that let me know how real God was.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
But still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because God knows his son. I'm very hard-headed.
Yeah.
So he had to show me. But how do you show me? I got to go through some things.
Yeah.
And I got to go through things where only you can get me out of.
Come on.
I was 18. I had my first charge shoplifting at Walmart. And I thank God for that.
Yeah.
Because it could have been so much worse.
Come on.
My shoplifting charge I stole some socks and drawers. I didn't have the money. I stole some socks and drawers. Needed some socks. $69. Jeez. Never forget how much it was, right? $69. They stopped me at the door at this time. Well, the funny part of me, if I'd have known, I would have ran because security can't really do nothing to you. I turned around with the security. I should have took off running. I would have been all right. But
shoplifting tips by Lewis Baker.
I should have just ran. I didn't think about it, but I stopped because I was raised right. So he said, "Sir," I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come with me." I said, "Sure." I was literally I was raised to be respectful. Yeah. So when he stopped me, it was no disrespect. It was your call.
Yeah.
So anyways, went there, did with that. I had a charge for that. That charge ended up turning into, I got like a first offenders program for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never, I wasn't a troublemaker. Yeah. So that was that. Later in life, and I'm just giving these examples for you to sort of see where I came from. Now, the reason why I said I was grateful for that charge is because before that, I had my first apartment before. This is why I was living in Smithfield.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is living in Smithfield. I actually got many times I went to Walmart to get groceries, but I didn't have no money. So what I did was, and I ain't proud of this, but what I did was I'll take the food. It's funny because I was just stupid. I was stupid, but I would take the groceries, fill up the cart. I'll have bags already. And I would go to the automotive side and bag them up. And everybody knows in Walmart, if you got the bag, you good. Don't ask nothing. Right. You only look at stuff that don't got nothing with a bag on it. So I have a good day.
What about your business?
But mind you, if I would have got caught with that, because at that time, I'm not understanding now as an adult, I get how expensive groceries are. Man, I got a cart full. That's a couple thousand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have got hit with something way worse, $69 or... So I was thankful that he stopped me where he stopped me because it showed me his grace even within my punishment.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? That's good. It takes a level of understanding that it's even in your punishment, still understanding how much grace and mercy he gives you. Yeah. Because it could be so much worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. So me learning that and understanding that was big for me. Man, I had this honestly wasn't even me, and this actually came out truthful and all that. I'll go into a gas station, and the lady that was doing stuff at the thing, she worked there. I'm trying to ask her a question, and she's not hearing me because she had headphones in. So I just went over and I went like that to her shoulder, hey, excuse me. She freaked out. Cops called my dad. Hey, are you Lewis Baker? Yes, I am. So we need you to meet us here at the thing we need to talk to you about something that you did with a young white lady. White lady. Now, mind you, my dad said, now, hold on. This was in Garner. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm glad it wasn't Smithfield. So look. That's why I asked. I would have been gone with that one. So look, my dad said, now, wait a minute now, Mr. Officer. You mean Lewis Baker the fifth? Now it's a couple of us. So
right, it's a few.
As soon as he knew it was a cop, he said, "You mean my son?" So he's like, "Yeah." My dad called me, Lewis. I don't know what you did, but these cops need to meet you. Now the reason why they called him was simply because the car I was driving was in his name. So when they read the plates, it came back to him. So that's why he got the call. He's like, "I'm at work. That's my son. He drives a Taurus. I love Tauruses back then. It was like he drives a Taurus." So I meet the cops. The cops say, "Hey man, we know what you did. we're going to have to get you for sexual harassment and all this other stuff.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, yo, I didn't do anything, right? Long story short, my mom's out there with me because she's not going to let me go out there talking to 5 cops by myself. So we're having a conversation and everything. The cops are like, listen, man, if you just be honest with us, you know what I'm saying, this can go real smooth. I said, all right, I'm going to be honest. I didn't do anything. And eventually, long story short, we was out there for about 2 hours. They wrote me a citation, let me go home. Now, my mom's mad. I'm mad. The worst of that could have been I had cuffs around me and I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
I went home that night.
Yeah.
Went to court. Whole case came out. She never showed up, never showed up, never showed up, never showed up. They threw the case out.
Wow.
It's just to show that the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? Like how good he can be for you and understanding that you go through things, but understanding how he aligns within all of that for you. You know what I'm saying? And we all go through stuff. We all got stories we may not even want to tell people. You know what I'm saying? But the beauty of all of it is just understanding that I've had to go through little things in my life as well to see how good God is and how he can provide for you, how he will handle a situation for you. Man, I wasn't a troublemaker. I never really, you can't find a mug shot of me, praise God. You know, you can't find nothing of me that's crazy. But that's because of God, though.
That's because of God.
It ain't because I was the perfect kid or a perfect man. It's because God took over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I working in, and this is the last story I'm gonna tell because I'm giving you my whole rap sheet.
No,
but the last one, I'm like, even another time now, this is me older after the Walmart situation. I'm working as a server at TGI Fridays in Raleigh, on Old Wake Forest. It turned into a club at night.
Okay.
They shut it down now. I was working there as a server. The shoes now, working in the kitchen, serving for all my people that's done that before. You know, when you're cleaning stuff, that water getting your shoes, all kind of stuff. I was buying super glue. Now, mind you, I was a server. Not all servers are broke, but this one was. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Trying to steal again. Walking, I was like 18. So this is 10 years ago, everybody. 10 years ago. But I'm leaving, get caught.
Wow.
Now I'm crying. It ain't no yes, sir. It's none of that.
You tore up.
I just got done with a first offenders program with this. I am going down for some super glue. So I'm just like, I'm like, yes, sir. I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm crying. I'm just trying to, He gives me a ticket. You know what I'm saying? I go to court. I say, hey, I don't see my name on the thing. I'm trying to figure out which room I'm in. We don't got a Mr. Lewis Baker in here nowhere. I said, nah, here's my, citation. Nah, we're good. Here, take this card right here. If you ever get pulled, just show them this to show that you did attempt to come to court in case they try to FTA me or something like that. I said, okay, you sure? They said, you sure? I left. Didn't have no court.
Wow.
How, a case just disappear?
Favor, bro.
I still ride with that card in there 10 years later just in case I'm serious.
Hey, look,
10 years ago, you said I was good. You know what I'm saying? But now, for real, that's favor, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now, here's the thing that I've also learned. That doesn't last. That's not going to be around all the time if you just want to be just disobedient.
Yeah.
And I have to understand that, too.
Yeah.
He's not going to always just slap you on the wrist. Some people... he done put that fire on him. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. So, I just love to share that. And, the biggest part for me is just when I was a senior, this was 2014 for me, when I was a senior at Garner High, I was taking my brothers to school, Brandon and E-Man to school. I dropped my youngest brother off at whatever elementary school he was at. And my middle brother was riding with me. We're driving. Another car comes into our way on Timber Drive. Another car comes our way. As soon as the car comes, I swerve, hit the side of the road, pops my tire. We're going crazy. It was on the news and everything.
Wow.
We went over an embankment. Car airborne and everything. Car hit, boom, flip. Wow. When it was all said and done, we were upside down. So when I took my seatbelt off, because you really can't understand where you was at through all of that. So I took my seatbelt off. I fall and hit my head on the roof that's on the ground, right? So my brother, same thing. He's very looking around all crazy. We get out that car and my dad got the pictures still to this day. When we get out the car, news is there. my girlfriend at the time, her mom worked at the school at Garner, and she went there. So she went and picked her up out of class and said, let's go see what's about Lewis. It's on the news. They saw it.
Yeah.
So as they see all that, they get there, the news is there, all that kind of stuff. And everybody's looking around. They're like, well, where's the people at, that was in there? Because ambulance wasn't even quite there yet. I said, I was standing right beside them right here. And they said,
that's crazy.
You was in the car? I said, yeah, I was in the car. And my brother was right beside me too. No, bro, when I tell you not even a scratch. You know how people say you get in a car accident, next day you're sore? None of that. None of that. My mom cried about that for like 3 days.
Oof.
And me, I kept on with my life. It's crazy how God lines things even when you're not even appreciative of it at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, bro. So I just give those stories just to say, like, no part of me is perfect. You know what I'm saying? No part of me is deserving. But as I go through life, I just work to try to strive to show God that I do appreciate everything that he's done for me.
Yeah.
That the gifts you do give me will be used for you. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
Or I'll be locked up. Or I'll be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I thank God, bro. Like, sincerely.
Yeah,
sincerely.
It's funny because you talked about some of that stuff in your music. Don't give me the name of the song because I got bad memory. 35 years old, boys.
Daily Bread.
Yeah, Daily Bread.
Chasing these girls, having sex by the age of 15. Yeah, that's me. Caught me a shoplifting charge, Walmart by the age of 18. Yeah, that's me. Used to get drunk. Yeah, that's me. I used to hit the blunt. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real. Like, I mean, because how many people that once they do reach where they're trying to reach with God, they act like they've never been there before? Yeah. That's the disconnect between the young people and the church.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like we was talking about earlier with how your boy is in the fraternity and how he uses that
as a vehicle, yeah.
That's how it is with Christian rap.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of churches, they haven't bought into that yet, which I can sort of understand why. But at the same time, too, it's like, that's why I do it as a bridge.
Yeah.
Because everybody don't want to listen to the same songs we've been listening to for the last. Yeah. So that's yesterday, and I'm calling y'all out. 103.9, Melissa Wade, The Light. I sent them a message yesterday. I can show you. I DM'd them, and I'm trying to see about getting a new song called Rain, Rain on Me, the one I've been promoting heavy. That drops December 1st. Okay. And I really want to see about getting that on the radio because I really want them to be I want the world and church people and followers to sort of like see like it's okay. Yeah. Like there's another way to reach. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm keeping honest. We can take it there. A lot of these pastors still listening to Biggie and Pac in the car.
They are.
They're not going like they only listening to Kirk Franklin. They in there listening.
They listen to secular music.
And okay, so it's just like, why not get? You can still get that vibe, but it's actually for the uplifting of the kingdom. That it's okay.
If you found us on TikTok, welcome. If you found us on Instagram, welcome. If you found us on Facebook or even here on YouTube, thank you. If you haven't done this yet, and you know what I'm about to say, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms at We Are OneFaith on all social media platforms. When you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, you'll get access to all of our content. Also, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms on all platforms where you want to listen to your podcast. I don't know. But if you want to listen to your podcast on Amazon, you can find us on Amazon. All you have to do is search One Faith Podcast and you'll find us there. With your support, we are able to spread the gospel. With your generosity, just playing. With your support, we are able to make sure that our content reaches the people that it needs the most. And if you've been blessed by what we've been doing with One Faith, I just want to encourage you to share it with somebody else. The more people you share it with, the more it helps us to spread the gospel and also to make sure that we reach that person. So thank you for watching. Let's jump back into the conversation.
What I was going to tell you, I'm struggling with. Money with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm struggling, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm struggling, I'm not trying to make this longer than what it has to be, but I'm struggling with that because growing up, I didn't ever look for no money out of church. First, I'm at my parents' church. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, like playing music and stuff, I never looked for money. Never looked for it. In the business side of this thing, nothing is free, though. You get what I'm saying? And it's not because that's my price. It's because it costs money to get here. It costs money. Like it costs money. It takes away money. Like, you know, if you work while you're doing your thing, you take time off for this. And of course, it's like believe in God and, you know, trust that he's going to provide. We get all that. You know what I mean? We do. At the same time, too, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
Because it's like you don't want to feel like you're in it just solely for the money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, it's like I started reading my word about it because I'm like, you know, and I found in Timothy, reading in Timothy, you know, about, you know, it's okay to be basically, long story short, and paraphrasing, it's okay to be compensated in your skill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still a struggle, though, for me.
Yeah.
Still a struggle for me. So, how you feel
about that?
Yeah, because I want to get some wisdom on that.
Me and Terrence were talking about this recently, right? That's why he turned around looking.
I'm telling you, like it's a constant like struggle.
It is a constant struggle
when your heart's in the right place.
Absolutely. Because the biggest thing is this. When we look at the context behind Timothy and behind that, what he's doing, we can apply it to a lot of things that we do in ministry for the working of the gospel.
Right.
But the correct context to be applied for that is for, like, you know, your pastors, your leaders who are laboring in the church to, and, you know, setting aside their life to do ministry in that community body, which is called the church.
Right.
And so the compensation for them, that's what Paul is writing to Timothy about, you know, because a workman is, you know, worthy of his craft, and in that way. And so when we look at it from the perspective as well of, for us, as far as content creators, podcasters, rappers, hip hop artists, in that regard, I think that when you can separate the two, because the Bible also said a man that don't work don't eat.
Right.
You still have to grind.
Right.
And it's the business side of things too.
Right. Right.
A lot of people don't like to talk about the business side of church.
Right.
Because it gets nasty and messy.
It does.
Very fast.
Yeah. I grew up in it, though. That's the whole thing for me. Like,
so
I grew up in it, so I saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people didn't grow up in it.
Yeah.
You know, they just went to church and they made their own opinions based on what everybody else had to say. I watched my parents literally take money out of their own bills to keep the lights on. Like, seriously. Yeah. Like, they took money out of this and out of that to keep the church going. Because let's be honest, realistically, unless you have a nice sized church, the tithing and the offering is not enough.
It's not consistent.
It's not consistent, and it's not enough. So it's just like, or it'll be enough if it was consistent, but they're not consistent, so it's not enough.
Yeah.
So it's just like to keep everything floating. My parents literally, they did what they had to do. Like my parents didn't
loans, they got to take out things.
They didn't get paid to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
and I think it's all about the intent and the heart, because for your parents who are pastors and leaders, they've probably done so much more that you don't even know that they've done to keep that church open.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
Like,
I only know what I know.
Right. We only know what we know. Right. There's no telling the stuff that they've done to really keep that church going in a good way. I'm not saying that they out here just selling drugs.
No. I get what you're saying.
They money laundering. They doing the whole thing. I'm not saying none of that. They got a whole Ozark situation going on.
You're like, son, you don't know what I had to do.
You don't know what I had to do. Keep these lights on at this church. So,
that is funny.
But at the same time, I'm sorry, I just thought about mine.
My mind gets like that too. It's cool.
But at the same time, when we think about like being paid for these things, I think that it goes along the lines of where we've been talking about. If you have the right intent and the right heart behind it, God will provide.
Yeah, your heart posture.
As a saying that I was saying, if it's God's will, it's God's bill. Like he'll pay it. You know, he'll make sure that you get compensated for it. Like I recorded for a good friend of mine. She's an artist. She does Christian music. She's one of the worship leaders at our church. She wanted to do a tiny desk session.
Oh, so similar to what I was kind of talking about. Yeah.
So I was like, dope. I set up. I do all the stuff. Whatever. I never asked for $1. Because when we do our encounter nights, like we don't ask for money.
Yeah.
We don't even do an offering. We just, hey, come meet us here. We're gonna worship and pray, and that's it. She does the whole worship thing. We do the whole prayer thing. We don't raise an offering. People come and get into the presence of God and all that stuff.
Wow.
To be honest with you, we could raise an offering and take care of everything on a consistent basis. But because we don't, I found that we've seen God's hand on a lot of the things that we've done too. Because not only has it opened doors for her to now her ministries is doing other things where she's getting paid from other things to doing those things, but it's also opening up those areas to where, we're able to do more.
Yeah.
And so going back to that, when she asked me to do that, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm not, I'm not asking for $1, because she kept asking me, what do I put? Oh, you like nothing. Like I do this for free. Like, because my heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's not me like trying to show that I have a good heart. It's no, it's like legit. No, I love doing this. I love you. I do it for free. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I did it. We did 2 recordings and whatnot, and she sent me something recently. She was like, "This is just a love token." I was like, "I didn't ask for this." Like,
Not for real. Yeah.
I didn't ask for this, but it's the same thing. Like God will provide in those ways. I think too, even when you look at different artists and stuff that are out here that do take it seriously, I think it's a fine line.
Yeah.
Because you have people who do it for the money, and because of that, their anointing is not as great.
Yep.
And their oil is not as great either. Yeah. Because you could tell that they just do it for the money.
Yep.
Versus the ones who do it because of the fact that, there's something more to it.
Yes.
Because I've always seen, like, no matter what, God will give according to those things. But I do believe that people should be compensated based off of the work that they do in the church.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real honest with you, because it's not just the black church, because the white church, multicultural church, all churches do this, take advantage of people in the church. That they're giving a lot of time, effort, and doing things. And the only thing that you're giving them is free pizza. Yes. and that's it. Like, like we have 40-hour jobs and we putting it in an additional 40 hours of doing church stuff. Yes, it's for the work of the Lord.
Right.
But there should be something. Right. Something.
Right.
And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, everybody needs to have something from the church. No, because you do it out of your heart. You do it for the Lord. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big advocate of that, because I think that I don't do things to get paid.
Right.
Like, I've never asked my church for $1 for anything that I've done. Yeah. I've led a production team. I lead the prayer team now, one of the associate pastors, all these things. I've never asked my church for $1. I don't even expect them to give me $1.
Yeah.
I never have, but they've blessed me in other ways. If as much as I've given to the church, they blessed me in other ways to where I'm able to utilize the campus, like the West Campus, for free.
Wow.
To do my encounter nights, to do the stuff that we do. Like, and I mean, and there's trade-offs to certain things.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like when you have the right heart, the right mindset, the right posture, and all these things, you're not in it for yourself.
Yeah. A
lot of people will see that, and they'll want to partner with you with that.
Yeah.
And they want to come into business and do business with you because of that. And you don't know, like, who is a true, like, business investor, like angel investors.
You never know.
Who's paying attention and watching the certain things that we're doing and saying, okay, well, I see your heart behind X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Let me give you this. Let me invest this into your ministry. Let me invest this into the things that you're doing because I believe in you.
Yeah.
Or you have different ones to be like, hey, I have this marketing agency, X, Y, and Z. I want to partner with you and help push you through X, Y, and Z. I think that there are some legit good ones out there, but I think it all comes back to your heart, your motives, and things like that. But also, too, I think that it requires a level of us thinking outside of the box, too. Making money outside of traditional ways. This is something that I'm trying to understand and get through now. It's like how to make money outside of traditional church ways, which is, let's raise an offering.
You're right. Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do that.
But see, that's the beauty in it.
That's the beauty, right?
Because that's where your Christian creatives come in.
Exactly.
This is something I've always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a part of like the 12 churches, 12 months thing that I was going to do with the churches that I partner with that have these shows at. You can invite the community like we always do for youth nights and stuff like that, because you don't only just invite your youth, you have your youth invite other youth, young adults invite other adults, and it's a concert essentially.
Yeah.
So you can have a ticket price with that. It's a concert, right? Like you literally have it as a concert. Like they come in, lights off, it's a concert. You know what I'm saying? And when they come in, it's a ticket price. That money goes into the church, or it goes into whatever department of whatever that you got going on. It's ways to do it where it can grow. And that's where I feel like the merge between the church and the creatives have to find their way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I come to you, like, let's say you're a church and you're saying, hey, we need to raise more money, but I want to do it instead of just raising the offering plate. You know what I'm saying? Then, okay, hey, I'm a Christian artist. I can, your people that are in here, they like the type of music that I make, whether they want to accept it or not. Like they like that type of music. Let's throw an event and let's do it like that. And the money that comes from that, boom. Yeah. That's not an offering plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
At the same time, as myself, I still get what my mission and my vision, it gets what it needs to get out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is reaching more souls, and then the social media side of things and all that kind of stuff. And you're accomplishing your goal too. And people don't feel like they just had to dig in their pocket and drop. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but a lot of churches don't really want to look that way.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's where the disconnect is at. And I would say too, we got a lot of super young Christian creatives.
Yeah.
Too many.
A lot, yeah.
There's no substance there.
Absolutely.
Your heart is great. But we're giving big platforms to such young Christians that it can backfire.
Fast.
So it's like, for me, it's like also too, like I said, I don't work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I've had younger guys DM me to do a feature, but when I listen to your music, first of all, I don't even know what you're saying in it, because I mean, you're still trying to keep it so street.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you're not there yet spiritually for me to. Yeah. You feel me? I'll mentor you. We can do that, but I can't. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's hard. It's such a fine line.
It's such a fine line
of trying to make it make sense, but I feel like the options are there. We just have to be willing.
Yeah. And I do. And I think too, like churches just don't need to be cheap in that way too.
Yeah.
Like, especially ones who can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a lot of them that can't afford to do it. They just don't.
Yes.
And they just won't. And I feel like you can't afford to pay and take care of, when you bring people in, artists and stuff like that, you can take care of them. And you do those things.
It's an investment.
It's an investment, because if they're coming to perform a service or perform a thing, you have your number. If they can meet that number, great. If they can't, I'll go to the next place who can.
But like you said, this church is big enough that can do it. They just choose not to.
Choose not to.
I mean, like, but
it usually, and this is, I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It usually, this is how it typically goes. They can do it, but they won't do it until they see that you have the following and the influence to do it. And they're like, okay, you got 100,000 followers, you got all these people behind you. I'm gonna invest in you, because not only it doesn't benefit you, but it's going to benefit me, because now people are going to see me attached to you.
But see, at the same time, it should never get to that way though. Right. And on top of that, the ticket price is going to be a whole lot different. Right now, and I'm very transparent with this. Right now, if I go do something for a show, my price is $300, not 1,000. I ain't there. 300. And that's like in state. If I go out of state, I might do 5, because I mean, it's out of state. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The backlash I've received from churches. I'm not talking to.
That is super low. Like, that's real low.
Like, from churches. I'm talking about pastors, and I'm just like, okay, my thing is this. By the time, let's say I'm going to Florida. I was born in Florida, right? So I have a nice following in Jacksonville. I was born in Daytona, but most of my family in Jacksonville. By the time I get there, that 300
is gone.
I got booked for a show there for 300, and that wasn't even enough for my flight. I had to drive. I drove 9.5, 10 hours because that wasn't enough for a flight. More than willing, but You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not even doing it for the money. I'm just doing it to make sure that I can get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in state, I'll be like $300.
Yeah.
I've told a church in Raleigh, I ain't gonna put them out there. Church in Raleigh, hey, they're like, yeah, so they're in a nice way, what's your fee? You know what I'm saying? I'll only do it for this. That's covering photography so that we can actually have good content coming out of this. You know, so we can reach more people and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think we really got it in the budget to do that. Now, this is a bigger situation. I'm like, you can, you can
swing it.
Come on.
But I'll say this, like, because I do know, like, in churches and their finances, like, certain departments and auxiliaries are only budgeted
only so much.
So much.
Yeah.
And they probably, even if they went to higher ups and say, hey, can we get X, Y, and Z? They probably would tell them no, because everything is set in percentages and
which is
things
fine.
like that.
Which makes sense.
But if you're putting together something like that, I mean, your fee ain't was so much. And if you got 30 people there, you can raise a $10 offer from each person and just go from there. I mean, that's just me thinking outside the box.
You said it now. That's all I'm saying. For me, it's just like, and again, it's not about the money, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's gone by the time it's reinvested back. It's not like you paid me. My thing is, you got artists that's paying, they'll pay. The part that's crazy to me is they want to be attached, and it's not all churches, but they want to be attached to the name or to the brand more than what it is, because you can have Hovey or somebody come in town and Hovey tickets starting at $15,000.
Yeah.
And you're going to find a way to pay that only because of who he is.
Yeah.
Cool. But at the same time, it's like, when you look at, like, and this is not like me boasting or nothing, but like with my music and stuff, it's obviously taken seriously.
Yeah.
And it's just like, at my point in the game, I just need to get in front of people.
Yeah.
It's not about the production. It's not about, it's just, okay, he needs to get in front of people at this point.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where it's at. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I'm not mad. It's nothing like that. No, I'm not salty.
Yeah, no. I understand.
Like,
I think, too, it's just, you're still early in it, too. Like, 2024, taking it serious, and we're in 2025, 2026. So that's less than 2 years.
Yep.
And then, now, granted, we have seen careers take off like that from, like, i.e. Forrest Frank. Like, that's a great example.
His that was crazy.
But I think too is like, the path that you're on that God is taking you, it's molding you and shaping you, yes.
Definitely.
But also it's also showing you how to do things.
Yes.
In this arena, in this area.
That's why I said earlier, it's the journey.
It's the journey.
It's not the destination.
It's the journey.
Yeah.
And he's taking you through it because, all the stuff that I rattled off and I said, like, these are things that I do. I know my worth. Like,
facts, yeah.
And I know how much I should be compensated for these things.
Right.
If I went to another church right now, I know I'd be on staff and I know I'll have all the X, Y, and Z because of the stuff that I do.
Right.
But I don't do that. Like, because it's not my heart.
That's not you, yeah.
That's not my heart. Do I want to be a pastor? Do I want to? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not going to jump ship to an opportunity that God hasn't had me on, or He doesn't want me to have. Put it that way. And even with you, I think too, like where God is leading you and guiding you, and He's doing things with you. You'll get there. You're like that. That's no doubt. Like I say, I've listened to your music. I've shared your music to different ones. Like it's good. I think the more that you grow and the more that your music elevates and the more that you continue to tweak it, do different things to it to continue to enhance it, take risk and all these things, it won't be long before something takes off.
Right.
And it can be like one of the most randomest songs.
That's how it be.
That'll just take off. And the next thing you know, everybody will come together to know, come to learn or hear your music and get a understanding of who you are through your music, it could be either you taking your existing songs and elevating them even more. Like that's what Toby Nwigwe did.
Yep.
Like all his earlier songs or the songs that he
redid them.
He just redid them, repackaged them, repurposed them, redid and just kept constantly tweaking them until he got to the place where it's like, okay, this is the hit. So,
but you want to know, you want to know something else though. And I just said this to my wife the other day. I also, and this is the part that's hard to swallow for people, have to be okay with it not happening.
Yeah.
That's the part that's hard.
Yeah.
After the investing and the time and the effort and the money and
Yeah.
what if that's not the purpose God has for you?
Mm-hmm.
Or that was for a season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because guess what? My music that I'm making could be made for maybe only 3 people on this world God wants. And if my music is to help them reach him, reach God, that could have been that purpose. And that's it. That's the part that a lot of us don't think about. Like, what if this isn't your purpose? You know what I'm saying? So literally when I told you earlier, when I give it to God, that's what I mean by that. Because it's just like, you know what? Whatever you have for me with this, I'm going to do. No matter how good I sound, no matter how, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you got trash artists that's making it. Like you really don't know who's gonna make it these days. You know what I'm saying? So,
but even with that, because I like that you said that, because it literally something that the Lord dropped in my spirit with that. Because we talk about the journey, you gotta be okay with it not happening, which is true. But like, what are the lessons? What are the things that we're learning in this process?
Yeah,
God, someone on my prayer team said this recently. God doesn't waste experiences. He doesn't waste.
You all over what me
doing.
And my wife been talking about. That's crazy.
Like the stuff that we're doing, like he's not wasting this stuff.
Yeah.
Like the podcast, your rap career, all this stuff. This stuff is not being done for waste.
Right.
It may not get a lot of views or get in front of a lot of people and whatnot right now, but what we're learning in this season, it's going to be applied in the next season.
That's deep.
Or it's going to be applied in another way.
Yeah.
Because everything that you're learning right now, the struggles and all that stuff, but also the things that you do know, but with having your pastors, I mean, your parents as pastors and, you know, seeing the business side of things at church too. It's like God could literally be preparing you. I'm not saying that you about to pastor and be the next bishop or anything like that.
Who knows, man?
Who knows? Whatever God has for you. But I'm saying, like, what God is taking you through is only preparing you for what he has for your career now or even next. Let's say your career do blow up. You know, things do happen. You take off. Your rap career takes off. And then you get to the place where you're like, this is it. Like
all that for
right,
this?
All that for this. Which is what a lot of artists feel. Like they said that. You hear it all the time. It was like they get there and they're like, this is what I grinded for, this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
It's like there's gotta be something more.
Right.
So what's more? My pastor said, what's the more for? Like what's the more for? What's next? Like what's next beyond that? Only God can tell you that. And all that stuff is wrapped up in God. Because when we feel like we can't, you know, the stuff that we're doing don't make sense or it's whatever, you know, God always has a purpose for it.
Yeah.
It was like when I led the production team, my main reason for leading the production team was because I wanted to learn how to do production. I want to learn how to do all the stuff for my podcast. That's how I learned about the cameras and the lights and all the stuff because it was like, okay, this is how I can take my podcast to the next level.
Yeah.
If I had this camera and I had this lens, because this stuff is not cheap.
No.
If I had the roadcaster and the switcher and all this stuff. Like, if I have all this stuff, great. Like, this will take it to the next level. People, and in my eyes at that time, it was like, people will look at it and people will want to, you know, see it and all this stuff. But nothing really changed.
Yeah.
Because the quality of it is great. Look, I'm confident in I'm confident in the quality of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but what am I learning in this process?
Right.
The consistency of it. To not get weary in well doing. To understanding that it's God who makes these opportunities and these things open, these doors open. It's God who does all of these things.
Right.
Like, what's the why? The real reason why we do these things. Is it so that we can build a brand or build a name for ourselves? Or is it so that somebody can be impacted by what we're doing?
Right.
Like, when we're all dead and gone, this stuff is going to continue to live on.
Right.
Our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they'll still be impacted by the stuff that we're doing now because they'll see it. And they'll be like, oh, my great-granddaddy was a rapper.
Right, yeah.
My great-granddaddy did this. This stuff sounded pretty good and whatnot.
That's crazy.
You know, and because you got to think generationally, but also the legacy that you're leaving, but also see how all of these things are playing into the grand big picture of what, or the grand scheme of things of what God is trying to do in our lives.
Facts.
You know, because I wouldn't, about 2-3 we've been at church for 4 years, but about 4 or 5 when I first started the podcast, I wouldn't know how to do all this stuff, like
Nah,
have all this
listen,
stuff.
listen.
It's like the church helped me understand this stuff.
Same way with music, bro. Like I started music back when I started it, trash.
Yeah.
I'm talking trash. Like to where it is today, like people would never know, and they wouldn't, because that music I wouldn't even let nobody hear. It's like the differences. I feel you though, like the time invested, money, and like and learning on my own too. Like there was no anybody to help me out. It was just like either you want it or you don't. The gurus was costing too much.
Listen,
so it's like YouTube and
trial and error. Because I did a couple of sessions with shout out to Omar, who does a lot of the social media branding stuff. I can't pronounce his last name. It starts with a T, Corey or something like that. But I've done a couple sessions with him, and his stuff costs. And, and I was on the borderline of like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I may have to get a loan to do it. Yeah. But at the same time, it was like, I learned so much through that.
Yeah.
I didn't get a loan to do all that because that stuff was stupid. I mean, really expensive.
Yeah.
He has the knowledge and the expertise to do that because he's built his brand to do that. Yeah. He's built himself up to do that. It's like we're still on the journey, yes, X, Y, and all that stuff. But, he does his not just for the church, but also in the secular world too, because he gives coaching and consulting and tips and stuff like that for social media, not just for the church folk, but for everybody. So if you got a business and you have millions of dollars or whatnot, he's consulting those people. That's why his number is so high, because he knows what he's worth. Yeah, because he's done it. Like he's helped launch and help build Think Media to what it is today, and he launched out and doing his own thing. And so he knows the value in what he's doing. And I think that just shows with us, like we know the value in what we're doing. We know the value in everything that we're doing, but also, the lessons that come from it, because somebody's going to come up to you, let's say 5 years from now, and they're going to ask the same questions. Like, what did you do? How did you get there? It's like, I've been doing a podcast for 5 years. People coming up at me. So, how do you keep going? Consistency.
Yeah, that's
just keep showing up. Like, hey, that's the only thing I got. We got to put the burden in your heart. Keep showing up. You're gonna hate it. Yeah. You're gonna want to quit. You're gonna want to quit this almost every week. Yeah. But keep showing up. Yeah. It's like, but keep showing up and keep doing it, because there's lessons that you're learning in this. That's and real. These lessons are not just for you. They're for other people. Yeah. Like they're always for other people. For other people to learn from them.
That's fire, man. Yeah. That's fire.
That's God. That's how God
works. Crazy. That's crazy.
That's how God works. But I think that you'll be fine.
Oh man, yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm giving it to him. Yeah, letting him do his thing.
You still grinding, man. You're still in the grind, and there's so many artists that's been doing this that you've been doing for years. And honestly, I'll be full honest with you. Like there's been artists that I know that's been doing this for years, and their stuff don't sound as good as yours. And I'm not
praise God,
trying to like
no, I appreciate
I'm just saying
that,
in general. And but just you'll be fine. Just keep grinding. You're in your grind season now. You really a babe in this. You're literally 2 years in. Yeah. And so, you got so much ahead of you. You just gotta keep grinding.
Thank you.
And it's gonna cost, taking these terrible deals in order to get you in front of different people. Yeah. Because you don't know who knows who.
Right.
And who like, oh yeah, I heard old boy do X, Y, and Z. Like that happened to my boy down one of my best friends down in Atlanta. Like he does music, but he doesn't do it a lot. He's shifted and he now does like, workouts and fitness and stuff. He's big in that. But that has opened doors for him to where he had teamed up with Toya, Lil Wayne's ex-wife.
Yeah.
Like he teamed up with her doing some stuff.
Wow.
He teamed up with different ones. Like, and he's been getting in different rooms and stuff. And he was invited to go and do a video shoot with Anike and different ones. And so it's like these things open up doors.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. All in like how consistent you stay in these things.
Man, I remember I went to, and it's just like you said, out of just being obedient and just doing what you're supposed to do. I went to Virginia, and They say Portsmouth. I say Portsmouth. Yeah, I'm gonna say it how it looks.
That looked at me.
That looked at me too. They'll get you though for saying they stuff wrong. Either I went there and drove 4.5 hours and did a show for them out there. Shout out to Christina out there and Chuck and Miss Linda and all of them. But I did a show out there. It wasn't, it was me and 3 other artists, I think it was, like for the free. You know what I'm saying? Just doing the right thing and just going out there. Man, the thing it's crazy because I feel like every time I do something, like God bless me with something else right with it. It happens like that every time. But anyways, I went to the show, did that, had great conversation. December 13th coming up, I actually have a show there at the Well Coffee House. And that show, they're not charging me anything, bro.
Wow.
Like, come there, do what you do, have the show.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And like for me, it's just like it's crazy. And through that, you meet so many people through the journey. Shout out Yanni. Yanni is with Connecting for Christ. She's a young lady. We're around the same age. She's from up north. I think she's from New York, she said, or she's from one of the New Yorks of New Jersey. Don't beat me up.
She's one of them news.
She's from the news. She's from there. And I think she lives like more so in the DMV area. So now she does a lot of stuff for them, and they just had a great event last night. I partnered with her, and she's actually going to be there, and she's also bringing her young adults and stuff to the show, and we're working together. So it's just being obedient. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, God is going to take care of you. Yeah. He take care of his. Last thing I'm going to say with that too is with my wife, I know I keep saying it, but I said to her last night when I said it may not work out, it may not be what God wants. Maybe this might be a purpose, but it hit me while I was in the shower. I was like, what you said, I said, but he's not going to give me this talent gift. He's not going to give me this gift and in a way that I have it. You know what I'm saying? For it to just be a waste. Yeah. And I told her that. I said, there's no way. I just don't feel that. Yeah. You know how you feel this is just a hobby. Come and go. This is not just a hobby. Like this is a calling. Yeah. And when you know that, that's like your peace and your contentment in it. Like just stay the course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you've been on my shoes all night, man. You're stepping on my toes all night. So
it's the Lord, man. It's the Lord. Real.
It's just confirmation and stuff, bro.
Yeah. And the biggest thing too is like something that the Lord been dealing with me, and then we'll end it after this. But the biggest thing that the Lord been dealing with me is like our words, the things that we say, being intentional about the stuff that we say and how we say it. Because so like I've shared earlier, like we're in a difficult season. I'm not gonna lie, but there's been times when I was talking to my wife and I was complaining. I was just like, man, I don't know how we going to pay this bill, how we going to do this, how we going to do that. I'm trying to figure out, what I need to sell in order to get Christmas, like so the kids can get Christmas. Like I'm trying to find out who's the plug, like how I can sell some drugs for the Lord or something. I don't know. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. Like if y'all know any Christian plugs, your boy TJ need to connect. But
praise the Lord, bro.
Praise the Lord, bro. Get you hooked on Jesus. Yeah. But for real, and I was just complaining and just saying all these things, and then she said something. She was like, "No, I'm not gonna let you like keep talking like that. You got to have faith in X, Y, and Z." It was like, "I have faith." You're like, you talking to the like everybody talking to Bishop, like you talking to Bishop, like you talking to the priest. Like I know this stuff. I just want to vent, and I was so mad when she said that because I was like, God, I just want to vent. I don't need her to give me all this faith talk and all this stuff. Right. I just need to vent. Like I just need to talk. But at the same time, I needed to hear it. Yeah, and it's so bad upset I was about that. I was like, dog, she was spot on though. And that's when the Lord started dealing with the words that we say, because they really form and shape a lot of things that we experience in our lives. Yeah, like I know I talk about that a lot on this podcast. I talk about Joel Osteen because that's really where I learned it from. But also, like, the Lord has really been dealing with me with that because of how negative we can say, or even how we can think things negatively. Yeah. And if we keep fixating on those negative thoughts, it'll manifest. Yeah. But seriously, if you fixate on the positive stuff, that's why someone sent me on my prayer team about how when the scripture it says we take captive of every thought and every vain and vain thing and things like that. She put it in a way to where she interpreted it in a way to like every thought that is good and that's negative, you can compartmentalize it somewhere. You can put this negative thought on the shelf. It's like, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to, this is going away. Or if it's a super negative thought, you know what, go back to hell where you came. Like that's like that, but if it's a positive thought, all right, let's put you forward. This is what we need to be fixated on. This we need to be fixed on. It's the same thing when it comes to like how we think and the words we say and being intentional about these things, because when we speak positive stuff, like it's going to come out, like it's going to manifest. These things are going to happen. I'm not saying that to be like a what's like one of them prosperity preachers or anything like that.
No, I mean, it's real.
I'm saying it to be real because a lot of people are feeling that in this season. Like so much negativity. So many people been committing suicide left and right.
For real.
Like even Jabari, gosh, what's his last name? Johnson, not R&B, the gospel singer, the guitar player. He came out and said like October 22nd, he was the day that his suicide attempt failed. And I'm just like, so many people are struggling. Like the Lord put it on my heart, like around early in October and all this stuff, that so many people are struggling with suicide.
Yeah.
Like I saw a statistic. It was like a child dies of suicide every day in North Carolina.
That's crazy.
Like every day. And then I had saw like, it was like recently because I got like a police scanner on my phone because I don't trust nobody. but I had saw like it was a girl like not in this neighborhood but not too far from us, had police called her because a suicide attempt. And so I'm like, there's so many people that are dealing with so many things and so many because there's so much negativity that's being pumped in this world, on social media, on the news, all over the place, music. And it's like we need an influx of positivity, an influx of positive things. Like my wife, I joke with her all the time because she'll catch me watching Darman videos, or if you watch we have a Samsung TV in our bonus room, and I was laughing at her. It was like I've just been watching Darman videos on the Darman channel. So anyone that don't know what Darman is, he makes like positive videos and whatnot. It ain't like cheesy acting, all that good stuff, but it has a positive message at the end of it. And so I just be watching those because it's like, man, it's so positive. On the contrary of all the other stuff that we're dealing with, it's like it's a good escape. To think about something positive outside of all the negative stuff that we see, and all the negative stuff that we experience in our own life, and to see those positive things and to escape to that positive place is only going to put your mood in a positive way. The Word of God can do that too. When you read your Bible, you surround yourself in the atmosphere of worship and you pray and all these things, it opens that up to where you are in a positive place with the Lord and you can lean and depend on Him and all this other stuff and everything like that. But that helps you and that carries you through all of that, and it helps you to push through the negativity and to put your focus on what really matters. Which is God, which is all of these things, which is understanding that His Spirit, His power, all of these things live on the inside of us. And when we say things, we're not saying things, haphazardly or saying things weakly. We're saying things with the authority that God has given us. Like if He told us to speak to a mountain, which is he's Jesus saying that in terms of speaking to an impossible situation and it can't be moved, and all it takes is a mustard seed level of faith. If He says that, then that means that it can happen. So what are we saying? What are we thinking? How are we shaping our mindset? How are we shaping our words and our thoughts to really speak to things? Are we speaking to these impossible situations? Are we speaking to these mountains and saying, well, mountain, I guess you can move? Like, no. He said, speak to this mountain and tell it to move, and it has to move. It has to be cast into the sea. That's the level of faith that we need, but also that's the level of faith that's required for our words, for our thoughts, and the things that we put in our hearts. And so even with like, as an artist, podcaster, whatever you want to aspire to be in life, start fixating on the positive stuff. Stop focusing on the negative. Stop focusing on these things. Pay attention to the words that you're saying. Pay attention to the things that you're allowing into your spirit. Pay attention to the things that you're allowing into your mind. The war is in the mind. It's really up here. It's not really here. It's really up here. Because what's up here really shapes everything else in the world. Or your world around you. So if you keep thinking negative, or you keep thinking, oh, My life sucks. Nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody's paying attention to me, X, Y, and Z. Then that will overtake you. And guess what? The enemy has already won because he stopped you from doing what God has called you to do.
All right.
That's the only thing he can take away from you.
Right.
He can't take away your salvation. He can't take away what you have, your drive after God. He can't take away those things. But if he can't attack your mind, guess what? He's already attacked your will. And that's the thing that he wants. So you have to give your will, everything, submit all these things to God. Be mindful and be careful of all the stuff that you're taking in so that it's positive. It reflects God, one, but also it helps so that you're influencing. You're putting positive things out there. You're impacting all of this stuff. Like, all that stuff is necessary, especially in this day and time that we're in, because so many people are going through so many things.
Facts.
And so I just want to encourage you with that. Like, keep putting out positive content, positive music. Be intentional about the stuff that you're saying.
Yeah.
Be intentional about the stuff that you're doing, because there's people that's watching you. There's people that's going to come to Christ. And I'll even say this, because like music is so powerful and so impactful. There'll be somebody that'll say, you know what? I was going to commit suicide, but I turned on your song, and your song saved my life. Like, that's how deep and how impactful our words are, or the stuff that we do, because we don't know who we're saving. We don't know who we're snatching out from the pit of hell. So be intentional about those things, because I've said countless times, there's several songs that I've heard that snatched me out of that place.
That's crazy.
And that saved me from that. So just be intentional. Be very intentional and understand the authority that you have in the words that you speak and everything that you have. So,
amen, bro.
Hey, yeah. All right. How was that, Terrence? That was good. Any last words you want to say? Let people know, like, where you at, where they can find you, your music and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, y'all can find me on Instagram, Louis Baker Official. You can find me on YouTube, Louis Baker Official. Find me pretty much everywhere that way. TikTok, that's the same thing on TikTok. Hopefully you'll find me at your local church soon. Hopefully you'll find me in your city soon. But yeah, man, just keep me prayed up, and that's where you can find me at. So
you can be good, bro. You gonna be
sir.
good.
Yes,
You'll look back on this interview and be like, wow, look at what the Lord has
crazy,
done, right?
Yeah. We'll see. And I want to give you your flowers too, man, while we in here, man.
It, man.
Seriously, keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. I found you on there. People, like you just told me, same thing applies for you too. People watching. So keep doing you, bro. I thank you, and thank you for this too.
Hey,
this is dope. You got and last thing I want to say too is when I walked in and you had the music playing, it's like you set that atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So I'ma steal that. I'm gonna do that at my house, bro. Like,
that's what we do, man.
Because it's like, just setting your mind, because idle mind is a devil's playground.
Yeah.
So when you can just have, like, when you're not thinking and you have something that's of God, just it game changer.
Game changer.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so yeah, man.
Thing,
but
man.
I appreciate
you, bro.
it.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, man. Thank you.